See Safety Orientation for Eastern Wyoming College Career and Technical Education Center. Each company must assign a site safety officer, so know who your site safety officer is. Each company must submit a copy of their safety and health plan that includes their hazard communication policy and safety data sheets. Know where these are on site. If you do not understand the information on the MSDS sheet, your foreman will have to instruct you. FC will gladly help you understand any information on the MSDS sheets if needed. All of this information will be kept in the superintendent's office on site. You will be able to access this information at all times. Keep all work activities within construction site fence. Construction access through gates indicated on map in blue. Parking permitted in the location is indicated on the map below in red. Only company vehicles allowed on job site. All other access for emergency and construction vehicles. No drugs. No alcohol. No smoking in building. No weapons or firearms. FC will take a zero-tolerance stance on any issue as listed above. Any persons doing any of the above items on site will be removed from the project and may risk the termination of your company's contract. Report all accidents, incidents and near misses. Forms will be supplied by the superintendent and must be completed within 8 hours and turned into the superintendent. Emergency. Call 911. Report emergencies to on-site supervisors immediately. Personal protective equipment requirements. Hard hats. High visibility vests. Full-length pants. Shirts with 4-inch sleeves. Must be worn at all times when on site. Safety glasses. Respirators must have training certificate. Dust masks. Chemical protective gloves or clothing. Face shields. Welding hoods must be worn for all work requiring additional protection. Assign a small crew to clean up after your daily activities. Several trash containers will be placed around the projects. These are for you to use. If you fill it empty, it is needed. These containers are not for you to fill and see to empty. Take care of your own trash. Lunch trash will be disposed of in the proper locations. If you are caught throwing your lunch trash on the ground, you or your employer will be responsible for the parking lot cleanup for that day. Make sure all materials get into the proper labeled containers. All general trash in correct container. Demolition is separate dumpster. If you do not place the materials in the proper containers, your company will be responsible for correction of contaminated containers. Daily cleanup of trash and organization of your materials is required. Materials staging and field offices. As shown by the map on the following slide, all materials staged outside of designated staging areas need to be cleared with C Superintendent. If placed outside of this area and is found to be in conflict with another trade's work or is in the way of campus activities, you will have to move your material at your time and expense. All major deliveries should be coordinated with C Superintendent. Do's and don'ts TS. Includes but not limited to gas, diesel fuel, oxygen, acetylene, LPG, etc. Do's will be stored properly in designated space within the staging area, through coordination with C Superintendent. All flammables will be stored in open-air cages that are locked. Larger bottles will be secured in an upright position and kept separated. Bottles will be stored with tags indicating full or empty. Do's and don'ts TS. Includes but not limited to gas, diesel fuel, oxygen, acetylene, LPG, etc. Don'ts TS. Plumbers will not store torch bottles in gang boxes. Pressure tanks will not move or be transported without the safety caps in place. Torch kits will not be left on bottles at the end of the workday. No work in or around storage areas that emit spark or flame. All 120-volt circuits must be equipped with C or FC plug. Extension cords checked prior to every use. If damaged, take out of service. Repair or replace immediately, or FC will remove them from the site. Cages or bulb guards or approved covers on all temporary light fixtures. If damaged or missing cover, report to FC for replacement. Use lockout/tagout procedures. No employee will be permitted to work in or on an electrical panel, including flipping breakers. If there is an issue, report it to the electrician and/or FC for correction. All hand tools must be grounded or have labels stating it is double insulated. All gasoline and flammable mixtures must be stored and dispensed in approved safety cans. Must be operated in well-ventilated areas. Outdoors whenever possible. Control the accumulation of toxic gases. Carbon monoxide. Set up exhaust fans in area of work. Periodically check air quality for safe work environment. Set up fans to create positive pressure. Hot work permit is needed for spark-producing activities, welding, torches, soldering, brazing, or any open flame operation. Fire extinguishers will be posted throughout the sites. If used, deliver to FC and report the location for replacement. Keep fire extinguisher with you at all times when performing hot work. Protection from fire. Remove combustibles prior to work. Cover flammables with fire blankets. Protect wall cavities with fire blankets. Use a fire watch when performing hot work. This employee will be responsible for monitoring the area of work during and after work is performed. This employee must be designated and have the ability to order a stop work and the knowledge of how to properly use a fire extinguisher. This employee will be responsible for clearing all areas at the end of the day. Use fall protection when fall risk is 6 foot or greater. All stairs 4 or more risers or 30-inch high will have rails. All access points with a vertical height change of 19 inches will need to be equipped with ramp, stairs, ladder, or other equivalent provision. Standard guard rail 42 inches high at the top rail and 21 inches at the mid-rail are needed at all open-sided floors, decks, or personal fall arrest equipment (FAS) to include full-body harnesses, decelerating devices such as shock absorbers or retractable lanyards, and anchors of 5,000 pounds of strength or twice applied load as approved by qualified person. Any deviation must be approved by a qualified person, i.e. leading edge work, precast or steel erection. Daily inspections of ladders to identify defects. Repair immediately. If not able to repair, destroy and discard. Do not use or leave on site. Side rails of ladders must be secured and extend a minimum of 3 feet above landing. Personnel working on the roof outside of the 15-foot offset flagging need to be tied off with the appropriate PPE. Do not occupy the top 2 steps on a self-supporting step ladder. All ladders must be ANSI type I or IA commercial grade. Employees must be tied off while working from a ladder near leading edges. All lift operators must have prior training and document/certificates of training. For specified lifts as required by OSHA. Use appropriate lift for terrain and supporting surfaces. Full-body harnesses need to be used by all occupants for all extendable/articulating boom-type lifts. All scaffolding will have fully decked platforms between the uprights/guardrails. All scaffolding will have base plates/mudzles, if not on casters designed for the scaffolding. Safe access features are needed on all scaffolding, that is, ladders, stair towers, etc. Do not climb frames unless designed as ladder. Base width to height ratio not to exceed 1:4. Locking casters are needed for all rolling scaffolding. Replace immediately if locking device is not working. All scaffolding to be inspected by qualified person daily and tagged according to status of scaffold. Work must be supervised by a competent person. Daily inspections must be performed. Person has the knowledge or ability to know or determine soil's type when excavating. Person has to be able to recognize a hazard. person has to have the authority to stop work and have hazard corrected. All underground utilities will be identified first. All surface hazards identified and controlled. Soil type must be established. Sloping, benching, and shoring protection must be used based on soils type within the excavation. Type A, B, or CL trench shoring equipment must be engineered and specification data sheets must be maintained on the site. Soil is type C. All excavations 5 feet or deeper must have protective systems. Sloping, benching, shoring system, trench box. All excavations 4 feet or deeper must have safe access within 25 feet of travel from area of work. Ladder, ramp. No spoils piles closer than 2 feet from the excavation edge. Do not ride on the outside of any equipment. Forklift operators must be trained and certified on the type of forklift that is being operated. Documents must be submitted to FC prior to the operation of the forklift. Crane operators must be trained and qualified. All cranes must have annual inspection records. No work underneath suspended loads. Controlled access zones will be used. Daily inspections of all rigging hardware and slings. Slings must have rated capacity markings. Hot work permit. Confined space permit. Ground disturbance permit. Daily ladder inspections. Daily scaffolding inspections. Daily safety inspection. Weekly safety inspections. Your employer is responsible for obtaining special permits prior to confined space, ground disturbing or hot work will be allowed. Your employer will be responsible for weekly safety meetings. A copy of the topic and the sign-in sheet will be delivered to FC. If your company fails to comply with this requirement, you will be required to attend FC's weekly safety meeting. Always remember we are working on a college campus. Watch language, etc. as students and staff will always be in close proximity. Students/staff always have the right of way whether on foot or in a vehicle. Be professional at all times. You have completed the General Site Safety and Expectations Orientation for the Eastern Wyoming College Tech Building. You will now be given a form that you will need to read and sign. You will not be allowed to work on site without your acceptance and signature that you have had the orientation presentation and that you agree, understand, and will follow these rules and regulations while working on site. You will also be issued a hard hat sticker. Safety pays.